The NBA has a situation, and it revolves around Bronny James. History seems to be repeating itself, with more headlines focusing on a late second-round pick than on the top pick in the draft. Why? Because this particular pick isn't just any player. He is LeBron James' son. However, beneath the buzz lies a more contentious debate. Has Bronny truly earned this spot, or is he here because of his father's immense legacy? To understand the controversy, we trace Bronny's journey through high school and college. Always under scrutiny, Bronny played at Sierra Canyon, a school famously known for its basketball program. During his freshman year, he averaged just 15 minutes per game on a team loaded with top prospects, contributing only about 4 points per game. It wouldn't have been surprising for any freshman to struggle for minutes on a stacked team, but this was LeBron James' son, an entirely different proposition. His sophomore year was even more challenging as he suffered a torn meniscus that forced him to sit out the season. The following year offered him a chance to return, but he still managed only a modest average of 8.8 points, with less than 3 rebounds and assists per game. By then, he hadn't shown evidence of star potential, and many observers doubted his NBA prospects. Yet, the public's fascination with his potential kept his name in the conversation. It wasn't until his senior year that Bronny began to emerge as a legitimate prospect. He averaged 14.2 points, 5.5 rebounds, 2.4 assists, and 1.8 steals, leading Sierra Canyon to a respectable 23-11 record. His improved numbers, along with a greater leadership role on the court, moved him up in most recruiting rankings, placing him 20th overall in the class of 2023, according to ESPN. Suddenly, the narrative shifted. Maybe Bronny could have an NBA career. But as his game developed, many wondered if that was enough to warrant NBA-level attention, or if his last name had greatly inflated his profile. Bronny's move to USC was supposed to be about proving his critics wrong. However, his freshman season was far from stellar. He averaged just 4.8 points, 2.8 rebounds, and 2.1 assists in 19 minutes per game. His shooting splits were concerning: 36% from the field, a mere 26% from behind the arc, and 67% from the free throw line. These numbers painted a picture of a player struggling to adapt to the college game, let alone the NBA. Critics seized upon these stats as evidence that Bronny wasn't, and likely never would be, a true NBA talent. While his on-ball defense occasionally impressed, he lacked the offensive consistency and size necessary to play the guard position effectively at the professional level. His critics claimed his path to the NBA was more a result of his father's legacy than his own performance on the court. Despite this, the Bronny hype train continued unabated. When draft night arrived, few were surprised to see the Lakers select Bronny with the 55th overall pick. However, the choice sparked intense debate. Many speculated that LeBron and his agent, Rich Paul, orchestrated Bronny's landing spot, using LeBron's influence to secure a place for his son in the league. To the critics, it felt like a blatant display of nepotism, calling into question the integrity of the NBA draft process. The move wasn't solely about basketball, it was also about marketability. The prospect of a father and son playing on the same team was too appealing for the Lakers to resist. But this raised uncomfortable questions. Did Bronny earn his spot through merit, or was it handed to him because of his father's name? What does this say about the NBA's values? If Bronny's draft selection raised eyebrows, the terms of his contract floored critics. Bronny signed a 4-year, $7.9 million deal with over $4 million guaranteed. For context, players selected at his draft position typically enter the league with non-guaranteed 2-way contracts. The Lakers' decision to offer Bronny a lucrative, guaranteed deal fueled suspicion that his value to the team was based more on marketability than basketball skills. Supporters argued that Bronny's presence provided an unprecedented marketing opportunity, with potential for millions of dollars in merchandise sales, endorsements, and media attention. Still, this rationale didn't sit well with those who believe the NBA should be about merit. If teams begin making roster decisions based on storylines rather than skills, it could erode the integrity of the sport. The Summer League was Bronny's opportunity to silence his critics, but instead he delivered a series of inconsistent performances. In his first ever game, he failed to score more than 8 points, shooting a poor 3 for 14 from the field and 0 for 8 from beyond the arc. His performance only slightly improved the next night, when he managed just 2 points on 1 for 5 shooting. These early struggles emboldened skeptics who believed he was out of his depth. To his credit, Bronny did show signs of improvement as the Summer League progressed. In his third and fourth games, he scored 12 and 13 points respectively. On more respectable shooting percentages, 10 for 21 from the field and 3 for 8 from beyond the arc. His defense and playmaking also looked sharper, indicating potential for growth. However, even then, he didn't stand out as a future star or game-changing prospect. The debate surrounding Bronny's place in the NBA extends beyond his individual journey, touching on broader questions about the league's values, whether it prioritizes nepotism or meritocracy. Some argue that Bronny's path is the ultimate example of privilege within the NBA. His college stats and summer league performances don't seem to justify a guaranteed contract, let alone the media frenzy that surrounds him. This raises an uncomfortable question. If his last name weren't James, would he even have been drafted? On the other hand, it's rare for a player drafted 55th to make a significant impact in the NBA. Most late second-round picks fade into obscurity. Some argue that Bronny has been overly criticized compared to other low draft picks. Supporters claim it's less about nepotism and more about his potential. After all, Bronny was a top 20 prospect who attended a Power 5 school and faced a major health scare before his freshman year. He still has room to grow. It's impossible to ignore the sheer marketability of LeBron and Bronny James playing together as teammates. The merchandise sales, endorsements, and media attention would reach astronomical levels. The NBA has always been as much about entertainment as it is about the game of basketball, and Bronny's story is marketing gold. The league has leveraged narratives in the past, such as Michael Jordan's comeback and LeBron's decision. However, the NBA must carefully balance this. If storylines begin to outweigh the principle of fair competition, the league risks alienating players and fans who value a meritocratic culture. Bronny's situation forces the NBA to confront this tension between marketability and the integrity of the sport. Bronny will continue to face immense scrutiny as he navigates his NBA career. Will he rise above the controversy and carve out a role based on his own merits? Or will his journey remain a symbol of the power and influence that his last name commands? Bronny has shown flashes of promise, but he also faces the daunting challenge of meeting enormous expectations. For now, his presence in the league has sparked a necessary debate about what the NBA truly values: talent, marketability, and how they intersect with lasting legacies.